Hello, folks. This is Tom Martin. This is my lottery strategy game, Decoding the Powerball. I'm picking my numbers for the drawing on November 29th, 2017. I have 7 strategies with my game, Decoding the Powerball. So, strategy number 1, the game card color code. Okay, so if you've never seen my videos before, what you're looking at is what I call the game card. This represents all 69 white ball numbers in the Powerball lottery. I really don't have anything for the Powerball itself. My goal is to get all 5 white balls correct and win the $2 million prize with the Power Play option. Okay, so the first things first, I'm going to go to the Powerball homepage. And the 5 white numbers that came up were the 8, 13, 27, 53, and 54. Again, I really don't care about the Powerball right now. Okay, so I'm going to go back. Okay, so what I do is I take those 5 white winning numbers and I put it at the top of this list. Okay, and then I transfer the last 3 drawings of numbers over to the game card as red numbers. Then I do the same thing with orange, green, blue, and purple. Okay, so basically you can see that I have 3 for red, okay, and 4 for orange, and then 6 for green, and 10 for blue. Okay, and the reason why I do that is because when I transfer the red numbers over, well, 15 of them it takes up 15 squares on the game card. So I gotta have more orange than red to make sure that I get a good amount per color. Okay, so what I mean by that is for this drawing here, I have 15 red numbers, 15 orange, 13 green, 12 blue, and 14 purple. Okay, so by doing it this way, this gives me a good representation of each color. Okay, so over here, this 181, this is how many color code drawings I kept track of so far. Okay, and out of this 181, 95 have been a 3-color combination. 68 have been a 4-color combination. 15 have been a 2-color combination, and only 3 times has it been a 5-color combination. And never has it been just 1 color come up. Okay, so here you see this too. This means that it was a 2-color combination. So you can see that it was blue and 2 blue numbers and 3 green, again for a total of 2 colors. The drawing before that was a 3-color combination. Okay, and then before that I haven't seen a 3 until way down here. Okay, so I'm expecting to have a 3 up here. So when I pick my numbers, I want to make sure that it's a 3-color combination, okay? Because I believe that that's what it will be. All right, so since hardly ever do all 5 colors come up, okay, the strategy is right now is try to guess which one of these colors won't be coming up, okay? And then you eliminate that color off of the game card. Okay, so for this drawing here, I'm not going to make a pick on that. I've been looking at this, and I just can't decide what color I think will come off. Okay, so I'm going to skip this one. Okay, so here's the what the game card looks like, and again, no pick from the color code. Okay, so I have 7 other strategies, so I'm just going to go on to the next strategy. Okay, so the next strategy is strategy number 2, the individual numbers. Okay, so what you're looking at is what I call the individual numbers. Okay, and basically how this works is the master for all the numbers is up top here. Okay, and over here to the far right is the numbers that just came up. Again, it was the 8, the 13, 27, 53, and 54. Okay, so I hit 4 groups. So I'm going to reduce this down so you can see all the groups. Okay, so you can see what I'm talking about. Okay, so group number 1 holds the numbers of 1 through 9. And then group number 2 is the teens, then 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, and 60s. Okay, so again, there's 7 groups total. So there's only 5 white winning Powerball numbers. So 2 of these groups won't be able to have a winning Powerball number to it. Okay, so the strategy is try to guess which one of these groups won't have the winning Powerball number to it, and eliminate it from the game card. So basically how I use this is this big square right here this is good for 5 drawings. Okay, and as I go through the my system here, you'll see that I break things down into 5, and that's so it will show me a majority of things. Okay, but I like to break things down into 5 in the individual numbers because it shows me how many hits have been so far in this 5 drawings. Okay, so I can look through the history of things and see what group has been really hot and what group has been really cold. Okay, so if it's been really hot, well, eventually it's going to cool down, and if it's been really cold, well, eventually it's going to heat up. Okay, so the group that I'm going to guess that won't be coming up in this drawing is the 30 numbers. Okay, and the reason why is because it has 6 hits to it so far, which is a lot. Okay, usually it's around 4 or 5. Okay, so here it is with 6, and there's only one more drawing left. So I'm just going to guess that it's maxed out here, and I don't believe that any other 30 numbers will be coming up. Okay, so I'm going to eliminate the 30 numbers off of the game card. I'm just going to pump this up here. I'm going to go to the game card, and I'm going to go to the right. Okay, so this is what the game card looks like so far with no 30 numbers to it. So when I block out a number like this, this means that I'm not even going to consider this number when I'm picking what I think will be the 5 white winning Powerball numbers. Okay, so it's off to the next strategy. Strategy number 3, picking the numbers I hope will miss from group 1. Okay, so what you're looking at is what I call my group 1 numbers. Okay, so basically what I did is I took all the numbers and I divided it into 4 different groups, and I put colors to them. Okay, so what I do is I keep track of where the 5 white winning Powerballs land. Okay, so again, I'm going to go to the home page, Powerball home page, and the numbers were 8, 13, 27, 53, and 54. Okay, so as I go back, okay, so you can see the 8 and the 66 share this square. Okay, so the 8 is in blue, the 13 is in blue, the 27 is in red, the 53 shares the square with the 69, and the 54 came up. Okay, so there was 2 red numbers. I'm sorry, 1 red, 2 blue, no orange, and 2 green. Okay, so you might get a little bit confused of the 8 and the 66. Okay, so don't get too stressful over this. Okay, basically what I'm saying here is that I'm keeping track of groups of numbers. Okay, so in this blue group is the 8 and the 66. Okay, so if I don't think that any of these blue numbers will be coming up, I'm going to eliminate the 8 and the 66 off of the game card as a group. Okay, so the things that you have to look for is the 65 shares the square with the 25, the 19 shares the square with the 67, the 8 shares the square with the 66, the 58 shares the square with the 68, and the 53 shares the square with the 69. Okay, so I put them in this order because there's no other double here in this row, okay? And there's no other double in this column, okay? So the way that I have it arranged is not really affecting, it's not doubling up, okay, on certain rows or columns, okay? But it will eventually, because I created 15 of these option cards here. Okay, so the strategy is with this is you're trying to guess where this 0 is going to come up. Okay, so if you could correctly guess where the 0 will be, you could eliminate these numbers, okay, off of the game card. And this is a lot of numbers to eliminate. Okay, so I'll show you an example of the ones that I'm going to eliminate for this drawing. Okay, and it's option card number 4. And I'm going to eliminate the orange numbers, okay? And the reason why is because I hit 26 consecutive drawings in a row. So I'll show you what that looks like, okay? So the longest streak for all 29, for all 15 of these option cards is 29. Okay, so this is getting pretty close to the record. So I've been guessing that this will be missing for the last 5-6 drawings now. Okay, ever since it got into the 20s, and I've been getting burned for the last 6 times, but I know it's gonna miss here pretty soon. So I'm just gonna keep on picking these numbers, okay, until they miss. Okay, so here the 69 and 53 will be eliminated. The 25 and 65 will be eliminated. And the 53 and the 58 and 68 will be eliminated as well. Okay, so there's 12 and then 3, so there's 15 numbers total that I'm going to take off the game card. Okay, so as I go to the game card here, I'm going to scroll to the right, and this is what the game card looks like so far. Okay, so over here you can see that I marked off the 25, the 53, and the 58. Okay, because again I shared those squares, and I'm just eliminating those numbers as a group. Okay, so the reason why I have these numbers over here is because of the color code. Okay, so you can see that the 8 is red because it just came up, and the 66 is green. Okay, so I needed to have some separation so I could still play the color code with these numbers. Okay, so it's off to the next off to my next pick in group 1, and the next one I'm going to go with is option card number 5. No orange numbers. So the reason why I'm taking this one is because I hit 18 consecutive drawings in a row. So I'm just going to guess that no orange numbers will come up. So I'm going to eliminate these orange numbers off of the game card. Okay, so this is what the game card looks like so far. And the reason why I like to show people this is when the actual numbers do come up, you can look at this game card and you can say, oh, okay, well, he made the right picks and the 5 numbers are still on this board. Or maybe the 26 will come up and you can say, well, he eliminated that one and this is how he did it. Okay, so this is why I like to show what the game card looks like so you can actually see whether I made the right guess or not. Okay, so I'm going back to group 1. And the next one I'm going to pick is option card number 6, the green numbers. Okay, option card number 7, the green numbers, I'm sorry. And the reason why is because this has hit 24 drawings in a row. Okay, so once it hits the 20s, I just start guessing that it's going to miss. Okay, so again, I'm going to eliminate these green numbers off of the game card. Okay, so this is what the game card looks like so far. Alright, so I'm all done with group 1. So now I'm going to go to my next strategy. Strategy number 4, picking the numbers I hope will miss from group 2. Okay, so what you're looking at is what I call my group 2 numbers. Okay, so much like group 1, where I divided things into 4 different groups, here I divided things into 8 different groups. Okay, so again, there's only 5 white winning Powerball numbers. Okay, so 3 of these groups won't be able to have a winning Powerball number to it. Okay, so the strategy is try to guess which one of these groups won't have the winning Powerball number to it and eliminate it from the game card. Okay, so here I'm going to point out this red section. I'm just going to pump this up a little bit so you can see it. Okay, so again, down here I keep the stats for the red area, and I keep stats for 5 drawings, okay, and that way will show me a majority of things. Okay, so here this 0 means that none of the 5 white winning Powerball numbers landed in this red area, and of course this 2 means that 2 out of the 5 white winning Powerball numbers landed in this red area. Okay, so here's the 25 and 65 again. Okay, so if I don't think that these red numbers will come up, then I'm going to eliminate the 25 and the 65 off of the game card as a group. Okay, so that's all that means, is I just keep track of groups of numbers. Okay, so keeping track of every 5 drawings helps me see what's hot and cold as a group. Okay, So if it gets really hot, like right here, well, since the lottery is so random, eventually it's going to turn cold. Okay, so this is what random looks like here. Okay, so I'm going to reduce this down a little bit. Okay, so again, this is what random looks like. Okay, so again, if it gets really hot, well, eventually it's going to turn cold, and vice versa. Okay, so my pick here for group 2 is, I'm going to pump this back up a little bit, is my first pick is option card number 2 right here. No orange numbers. So here's the stats for the orange numbers. Okay, so you can see that it got a little hot here, and I just think that there's going to be a 0 right here. Okay, so if my guess is correct, then no numbers in this orange area will come up. Okay, and this includes the 19 and the 67 as a group. Okay, so I'm going to go to the game card. Okay, so here's what the game card looks like. Again, with in group 2, option card number 2, no orange numbers to it. Okay, so I'm going to go back to group 2, and the next one I'm going to take is option card number 3, no purple numbers. So here's the stats for the purple. You can see that it got really hot here, so I just think that it's going to be a 0 right here. So I'm going to eliminate these purple numbers off of the game card. Okay, so this is what the game card looks like so far. Okay, so I'm going to go back to group 2. I have a lot of picks here this week. Okay, and the next one is number 7, no yellow numbers. Okay, so here's the stats for the yellow. Okay, so I just think that there's going to be a 0 right here. So I'm going to eliminate these yellow numbers off of the game card. Okay, so this is what the game card looks like so far. Okay, so I'm going to go back to group 2. And the next one is option card number 10. No gray numbers. So the stats for the gray is right here. So I think there's going to be a 0 right here. Okay, so I'm going to eliminate these gray numbers off of the game card. Okay, so this is what the game card looks like so far. Alright, so I'm going to go back to group 2. And the next one is option card number 12. No gray numbers. So this is gray right here. The stats for, and I think that there's going to be a 0 right here. So I'm going to eliminate the gray numbers off of the game card. Okay, so this is what the game card looks like so far. And I'm going to go back to group 2. And the next one is option card 13, no yellow numbers. Okay, so as you can see, it has gone a little bit here cold, but that happens. You know, there's lots of long streaks here, so I just think that this is going to continue as a cold streak, and I'm going to eliminate the yellow numbers off of the game card. Okay, so this is what the game card looks like so far. Okay, so I'm going to go back to group 2 for one last one. Option card 14, no gray numbers. Okay, so again, this is what the gray looks like. All right. So with all these option cards, they all kind of look the same as far as the red, blue, orange, green, purple, brown, gray, yellow. Okay, it's just that the numbers that they represent are a little bit different from each other. Okay, so again, I'm going to show you the gray. You can see that it went through a hot streak and another hot streak, so I just think it's going to be a 0 right here. Okay, so I'm going to eliminate the gray numbers off of the game card. Okay? Okay, so this is what the game card looks like so far. Okay, so I eliminated all the numbers I'm going to eliminate. Okay, so I started off with 69 numbers. Okay, so now I'm down to 1, 2, and 3 is 5, and 1 is 6, and 5 more is 11. Okay, so if I made all the correct picks, okay, then the 5 white winning Powerball numbers will be landing within these 11 numbers here. Okay, so hopefully I made all the right picks for myself. Okay, so now to help me pinpoint where these numbers are going to be, I'm going to use something what I call the 50-50 picks. Okay, so what you're looking at is what I call the 50-50 picks. Okay, so again, there's only 5 white winning Powerball numbers. Okay, so there's going to be a majority of either odd numbers or even numbers, or numbers to the high side or the low side, or numbers to the left side or the right side. Okay, so basically what you're looking at here is this 224. This is how many drawings I get track of so far, and that's since October 7th, 2015. That's when the Powerball lottery went from 59 numbers to 69 numbers. Okay, so out of this 224 drawings, 111 drawings have been the majority of odd numbers. Okay, 113 drawings have been the majority of even numbers. Okay, so what I do is I keep track of every 5 drawings so I can see the majority again. Okay, so you can see that this is going to be the majority of odds because it already has 3 odds that have the majority already. Okay, but you could go back in history and you could try to guess what this is going to be before it actually is the majority. Okay, so it hardly ever goes 4 and 1 here. Okay, so this may be an odd number. I mean, it may be the majority to the evens, but I don't feel really comfortable about that. Okay, so I'm not going to pick from that one, and I'm not going to pick from the high and low either. Okay, I'll just show you this real quick. Okay, but what I am comfortable in picking is this left and right one here. Mostly because the right side has 5 drawings in a row, which is pretty long. That's a pretty good long streak for this. As you go back through the history, you can see that it hardly ever goes 5 times. All right. So I'm going to guess that the majority will be to the left side. Okay, so I think the majority of the 5 white winning Powerball numbers will land to this left side here. Okay, so another thing that I have is the red and blue here. Okay, so you can see that the blue is way behind on the red, and red just hit 3 drawings in a row. So for this drawing here, I'm going to guess that the majority will be to the blue side. So again, the majority of the 5 white winning Powerball numbers, I believe, will hit in this blue area and not the red area. Okay? So one thing I do have for the Powerball itself, okay, so I'll go to the Powerball homepage. This is this red number right here. Okay? There's 26 of those red balls. Okay, so in this column right here, blue means that it's a low number of 1 to 13, and red means it's a high number of 14 to 26. And over in this column, red means that it's an odd number, and blue means that it's an even number. Okay, so just kind of looking over things here. Okay, what I think is that that this will be blue. Okay, and I think that this will be red. So I think it's going to be a high even number for the Powerball. Okay, so as I go back to the game card here, I wrote down that I feel comfortable that I think that most of the numbers, majority of the numbers will land to the left side, and I think the majority of the numbers will land to this blue area and not the red. Okay, so it's off to the next strategy. Okay, strategy number 5 was the 50-50 pick. So strategy number 6, picking the numbers I hope will hit from groups 1 and 2. Okay, so here's group 2 again. All right, I'm going to take this all the way back to number 1. Okay, so I have an overview of all 15 of these auction cards here. Okay, and I keep that in the group 1 area here. So again, the 15 auction cards all look the same as far as red, blue, orange, green, purple, brown, gray, yellow. Okay, so this is what the overview looks like. Okay, so what I do is I keep track of all 15 of them. So the last drawing in all the red areas, there was 10 hits and 5 misses. Okay, so since there's 15 auction cards, the magic number here is 8. Okay, so if there's 8 or more misses, I color it blue, like down here. Okay, if there's 8 or more hits, I color it red, like up here. Okay, so this helps me look at things and say, wow, I really think that orange is probably going to have a lot of misses to it. Okay, so I'm going to, I'm going to look at all the orange ones in group 2 and try to predict which one of these is going to have a miss to it. Okay, but I'm going the other way now. I'm trying to figure out what's going to be a hit. Okay, so I think there's going to be a lot of hits in this purple area. So I'm expecting this to be red here. Okay, I'm not sure how many are going to be there, but I just think it's going to be red. Okay, so what I do is I go to the group 2 and I write down the numbers that are left on the game card. Okay, so for option card number 1, you can see that purple numbers are the 5 to the 61. Okay, so the only one left here in the 5 to the 61 is the 13. So I wrote this down right here. Okay, and then I went back to option card 2 and there was no purple numbers left, so I put a 0. Okay, so I did that with all 15 option cards, and these are the numbers that I came up with that are left on the game card here. Okay, so to help me really pinpoint things, okay, I'm going to go back to the individual numbers. Okay, so what I'm doing here is I haven't seen a 5 in a long time. Okay, I haven't seen it hit 5 groups until way down here. Okay, and 5 used to come up a lot. Okay, so I'm expecting a 5 to come up pretty soon. Okay, so I'm going to guess that this right here will be a 5. Okay, so when I pick my 5, what I think will be the 5 white winning numbers, I'm going to make sure that it hits all 5 groups here. Okay, so as I go back to the game card here, another thing that I'm going to do is look for this group 2 option card number 9. Okay, a 3-color combination. Okay, so let me explain what that means. Okay, so again, I'm going to option card number 9. Okay, so I'm going to pump this up a little bit. Okay, so these numbers over to the right here, what this means is that the last one was a 4. So this is how many columns it hit, color columns. So you can see that this one was a hit for 1. There's two that came up here, but that's only 2 columns, 3 columns, and 4 columns. So I put a 4. Now, if the majority of the 5 white winning numbers is over to this left side, I color the 4 red. If the majority is over here to the right side, then I color it green. Okay? So if there's a bunch of reds in a row, then, I think that it's going to be green. And then I know that a lot of these are going to be misses over here. So I try to guess which one it is. Okay, so here, why I'm picking this out is because you could see that a 3 has come up a lot. Okay? So here, I haven't seen a 3 in a long time. Okay, so it's been 5, 10, 15, 19 drawings since I saw a 3 here. So I think a 3 is going to be right here. So that means that when I pick my numbers, I want it to represent just 3 of these colors, and that's it. Okay, so as I go back to the game card here, reduce this down again. Okay, the numbers that I'm going to go with is the 7, the 13, 27, 42, and 51. Okay, so that will give me 9 hits and 6 misses in that purple area. Okay, so I think that this will be, when I go back here, again, I think that this will be a 9 and a 6, and I think it will be red. Okay, so another thing here is this group 2, number 9. Again, I wanted to represent 3 colors. So you can see that the 7 is gray, the 42 and the 51 is gray, and the 13 is green, and the 27 is blue. So that will give me that 3 color combination that I'm looking for. Okay, and one more thing, you can see that the 7 is in a group, 13's in a different group, 27's in a different group, 42's in a different group, and the 51 is in a different group. So it gives me that 5 groups that I'm looking for in the individual numbers. Okay, and I also thought it was going to be a 3 color combination in the color code. So you can see that the 7 is purple, the 13 is red, the 27 is red, the 51 is red, and the 42 is green. So that gives me that 3 color combination that I'm looking for as well in the color code. Okay, so this is the reasons why I'm going to go with these numbers. All right, so hopefully they'll come up for me. Again, the numbers I'm going with is the 7, 13, 27, 42, and 51. Okay, folks, I'm always looking for people to play my game. So instead of charging a fee, I like to charge a commission for using my system, 1% if you get all 5 white balls correct. You can read the fine print, and if you're interested, you can email me at trm6776@gmail.com. And if you'd like to support me and check out what I could do for you as far as helping you pick your numbers, you can visit my page at my website at www.patreon.com/Decoding the Powerball. Okay, so you can check that out as well. And again, I'm always looking for people to play my game. So, all right, folks, I appreciate you watching, and best of luck with your picks.